Spurs fans are hoping that things change very quickly as well. Their place in the drop zone cemented yesterday. Another defeat, not helped by West Ham's emphatic win over Wolves on Friday night. This was new boss Roberto De Zerbi's first game in charge of Spurs, and after the match, he has assured fans that he remains in full belief that he will be able to pull the team out of relegation.
I'm positive because I normally speak with them. I believe in them, first of all, as a people, and then as players. For sure, we are in a tough moment, but I give you my word. They are good people, and they are suffering a lot for this situation. For that, I believe in them. If I have to fight with one player, for me, it's not a problem, but we don't need to make any policeman inside of the dressing room. But I would like to be a big brother, I would like to be a father, a friend, to help them to show what they are able to do.
Big task. I like him a lot, but it is a big task. On the other side, Sunderland boss Régis Lebris had his say on Spurs after the match. He explained he was never worried about facing them.
If we were disciplined and consistent, composed, we'll have the opportunity to win this game. The opponent wasn't strong enough to beat us, so I wasn't too worried, but football is a footballer.
Let's get a bit more on this, shall we, and find out how panic-stricken the Spurs fans are at the moment. Let's bring in host of the Last Word on Spurs podcast. A very good morning to Ricky Sachs. Morning, Ricky.
Good morning, boys. How are you both?
Yeah, you're really good. Thanks, mate. Probably better than you, as things are at the moment. How concerned were you that, despite the new manager, Spurs didn't really lay a glove on Sunderland yesterday?
Yeah, massively concerned. I thought first half we actually looked okay. We did create chances, and then second half we seemed to run out of steam. So, yeah, big worry given the fact that obviously we start this week inside the bottom three now, and it's no longer in our hands with 6 games to go. So massively concerning. And we have said it, throughout my period on talkSPORT as well in the last few weeks, that if Spurs are going to get out of this, as much as it'll be about the manager, it's going to be about the players. And we're going to see more from these players in these final remaining 6 games. Spurs are going to find a way of getting out the perilous position that they find themselves in right now.
I didn't see the game, Ricky, at the weekend. Obviously, I've seen the highlights of it. Do you, when you said the players have got to give more, look, you want them to find, you want them to play with more confidence. That doesn't happen when you're in the position they're in. It's very, very difficult. Are you questioning the amount of effort that players are actually putting in? Are you seeing enough players putting that shift in that convinces you you're going to get out of trouble?
Partly, Andy. I think the thing is that, look, it's quite obvious that the players are very much confidence-stricken. They look bereft of any kind of confidence. So when a setback happens, like we saw yesterday, and they go a goal down, they seem to find it really hard to rally themselves in a way in which you feel they're going to be able to get a grip of the game and try and turn it around. And that's been too much of a common theme this season. Once again, that shows yesterday that despite having a new man at the helm and him having 9-10 days to work with them, it seems to be very hard to lift the squad. I mean, there were some question marks yesterday how one of the very few attacking players that we have in Xavi Simons still can't get a start. That seems to be a ongoing scenario across this season. Frank didn't seem to fancy him, nor did Igor Tudor, and nor did Roberto De Zerbi in his first game, and he comes on with 6 minutes to go when it feels the game pretty much at that point has gone to some degree. Look, he can come on and try and rally to get us a point, but yeah, I just look at the forwards and he's branded relegation. Richarlison, he offered very little, nor did Dominic Solanke, nor did on loan Kolo Muani. You look at Conor Gallagher, he's on 200 grand a week. Looks nowhere near the footballer that a lot of people seem to think Conor Gallagher is and should be, and we've seen good spells of Conor Gallagher at Atletico Madrid, at Chelsea, at Palace, but we're just not seeing that player. When you look at the goal Spurs conceded, I hate to say it, the goal Spurs conceded is a goal typical of a team that are going to be relegated, and that'll be a big concern, I'm sure, to every single Tottenham fan.
I mean, listening to many Tottenham fans, the finger is often pointed at the ownership, at the board, But I was interested to hear in commentary yesterday that the matchday squad of Tottenham cost £560 million. So isn't it the truth of the matter that the recruitment has been the issue?
Well, the reality is, Jeff, I've said it so often on talkSPORT, the reason why Spurs are in this mess is because of the ownership and their mismanagement of the squad, not just this season, but over several. I think there's a lot of revision around Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy is a massive part of the reason why Spurs are in the situation they are in over years of neglect of the football club. But Johan Lang, Vinay Venkatesham, Riv Lewis, Nick Boycha, for how they've allowed this season to go for Tottenham and that January transfer window to play out as it did, and we were told not to panic because players were coming back. And you look at the players that are still out for Tottenham and those that have since been injured, once again have had another setback in the case of Mohamed Kudus. You know, Spurs deserve relegation for the way they've allowed this squad to have been mismanaged across this season. The fans don't, the ownership do, and we're in a perilous position right now. We've got 6 games to somehow try and save us. But I think the biggest worry for us all now is that it is no longer in Tottenham's hands, and you worry thinking we have to somehow win 2 to 3 games out of the next 6 when we've not won any in 2026 in the Premier League and what winless in 14. So it's hard right now to see a way in which we are going to win a game, but you just hope if Spurs do somehow grab a victory out of somewhere that can hopefully start a winning run. But I'd be lying if I said to you, I'm confident I can see that right this second.
Ricky, what about Christian Romero? Went off and obviously looked quite emotional as he left the field. Have you got any update on how long you think, or whatever that injury is? And also, would you expect him to, if it's an injury that keeps him out for the rest of the season, would you expect to see him in a Tottenham shirt again?
Well, it's hard, Andy. You're not sure if the tears are there because he's missing the World Cup rather than he's going to be missing Tottenham games. I think at the moment he's expected to undergo a scan in the next 24, 48 hours at the club. So we'll know more about it in the coming days. But no, I mean, look, difficult with Romero because probably he's one of Tottenham's best players when he is fully focused on form and has got his Spurs head screwed on. But at the same time, you know, booked yesterday, I thought he was one of Spurs' better players, to be fair, but we are severely lacking leadership. And you look across that back line yesterday, Mickey van der Ven out-tussled, out-muscled a lot by Brobby, who I don't know how Brobby remained on the field, guys, I've got to be honest with you. I'm not one to moan about referees, but I thought that was one of the worst refereeing performances I've seen in a long, long time. And they seem to always be coming against Tottenham in the last few months. And I'm not one to want to hide behind or blame referees, but the standard and the level of inconsistency around the refereeing this season is just absolutely so frustrating and bemusing. So, look, we're going to have to take some leadership now to get out of this. And I just keep saying this, I'm not sure where the points are coming from right now, but somehow, some way, this team, this squad, this manager is going to have to find a way of getting the results. Otherwise, we will be relegated.
Ricky, thanks very much
Nice
indeed.
one, Ricky.
Pleasure, boys. Thank you so much for your time.
Cheers, mate. Host and founder of the Last Word on Spurs podcast, Ricky Sachs, with us there.